What up, big chump, big pump? Woo! You know what they say? Welcome back to the Leviathan Gaming channel. That's where you are right now if you're actually watching this, my friends. Boom. We are already on the launch pad, and today, we are going to try to orbit Minmus. You heard me right. The other celestial body floating around our lovely little planet here. This is going to hopefully be a successful mission, and you'll see this lovely fairing up top, payload fairing. I am hiding it, not because I want to hide it, it's just going to make the entire system more aerodynamic. This is the same orbiter lander monstrosity I made previously. I did add some legs here. You can see these lovely little guys. We're not going to be landing today on Minmus, however, it should be easy enough to orbit it and do a lot of good science. I'm not going to lie to you, I did not actually redo the mission to land on the moon yet. We're launching. 3, 2, 1, ignition. Okay, so, question for you guys. Have you ever heard of, like, one of the most interesting stars to ever exist? Right? Take a second to guess what it is. Leave a comment in the section below, what you think the most interesting star is. And see if you can guess what I'm gonna say. So, 3, 2, 1, Neutron Star. There's a good reason for that, right? So, neutron stars, in essence, are almost a black hole. It's the closest thing you can essentially get to a black hole without becoming a black hole. The reason being is in order for something to become a black hole, it takes about 20 times the mass of the sun, right? So if something is less than that, and it's a supermassive star as it stands, you know, a red giant, for example, you go through this area where there's such intense gravitational pull that the core of the star, I'm going to stage here, 3, 2, 1, staging. Lovely. I'm gonna start pulling here. We are gonna drop the fairing. Okay, we're gonna retry that. And launching one more time, let's go. So you essentially take this absolutely massive star, right? And at the end of its life, it does expand and expand and expand. As the nuclear reaction kind of increases speed towards the end, you get this effect where the outer layers of the star start expanding. But because the star is dying, it doesn't have as much material anymore to fuse. And you get this point that the entire star starts putting out less energy, and there's this decreasing expanding force. So the force that usually keeps the star from collapsing to begin with decreases. And then once you get that, gravity starts pulling in on the core itself so hard that you start fusing heavier and heavier elements, right? So neon, helium, you start getting all the way into iron, which is essentially the end-all be-all for this type of situation. Once iron's created, you get no more energy left. You don't get any more energy back from this reaction. Oof. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. I might have to adjust my strategy here. Not that we couldn't keep going, but I'm not gonna do that. It looks stupid. Avert flight. We're gonna go back to launch. We're gonna change it up a little bit. So you end up getting this awful situation where you're creating no more energy, essentially. This reaction is not putting out any more energy. And then, all of a sudden, the entire star, as it dies, gets sucked back in. And you have this gigantic core of iron that has the mass of an entire star, essentially, in the size of Earth, right? That's what that is at the center of this super giant dying star. Once the entire outer layers come crashing back in, they collapse on top of this hyper-dense iron core. All of a sudden, it impacts, and like a massive explosion, you get this supernova, blasting everything back out. That's where we get some of the brightest. I mean, they'll outshine the entire galaxy. It's such a huge explosion. It's an unfathomable scale, right? So once that happens, now gravity kind of just once again begins to take over. All of a sudden, you have an entire mass of a star pulling down on this core that no longer has energy output, and the entire thing just collapses. So you have an entire star going from the size of a planet to now about the size of a small city, right? You know, maybe 25 miles across, for example. This entire, absolutely massive star collapsing in on itself. The density of those objects is, I mean, it's very difficult to comprehend. You have the equivalent of, I don't know, what's the largest mountain on Earth, collapsing down to the size of a tin can. And that's just a single like sugar cube worth of material. It's absolutely mind-boggling what type of weights and masses are put into this particular object. It's amazing, truly and genuinely amazing. So now you go from this massive star existing to all of a sudden you have not only the star is gone, now you have to deal with this hyper-dense object. I mean, saying hyperdense is a bit disingenuous because, quite frankly, hyperdense isn't even the best way to describe it. It's absurd. So now you have this ridiculously dense object, and as I'm sure you guys are aware, the moment you take a large object that is spinning at a particular speed, and then you shrink it down in size, a lot like an actual human being, for example, ice skating in the Olympics. If you ever watched that, ice skater they're doing their thing. They are doing one of the spin moves, and they have their arms out. When they pull their arms in, all of a sudden they are burn time 52 seconds. There's a failed mission, ain't it? I might have to restart here again. Alright, let's figure this one out a bit. Star that's spinning at a very specific speed, and then it collapses in on itself in an absurdly large supernova. And once that happens, all of that mass, all of it gets pulled in back towards the center and gets even smaller once it collapses one more time under gravity, and it becomes this ridiculously dense object. And now all of a sudden you have this absurdly fast spin, right? So this is how neutron stars form. Okay, so once that happens, you get essentially why it's called a neutron star. This iron becomes so dense that the neutrons, protons, everything, the entire atomic structure of what this star was made out of collapses in on itself. The actual atomic structure itself collapses and becomes what's called a neutron. Now, when that happens, you essentially get this, what's theorized, I should say, to be essentially a new element, element 0, as you might want to call it, called neutronium. The idea behind neutronium is it is essentially pure neutrons because of this absurdly intense reaction that happens. And you get this crazy dense, hyperdense, super powered material. Oh, let's make a maneuver here really quick. Oh boy. Okay, we are doing this. Blast. Okay. Pull up RCS. Hopefully this will help us out a bit. Oh, gosh, this thing's a bit unwieldy, ain't it? Uh-huh. Okay, we are no longer increasing vertical velocity. It's kind of an issue. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't even know if we're going to be able to get to Minmus with this. It's a disaster. It's okay, we have a lot of delta V. We'll see what we can do. What I'm going to do is I am going to try to get totally vertical here and increase our... Oh gosh, imagine being the ground crew watching this mess fly. Oh my gosh. Poor Bob. He didn't sign up. He did sign up for this, but I don't think he expected this atrocity. Okay. We are back on schedule here. So, you get this essentially element 0 called neutronium, something that is really only theorized. We honestly don't even know if it can exist. We don't really know what is at the center of a neutron star. It's baffling to scientists, quite frankly. So you have this absurdly high... Ooh. Oh, great, I like that. Okay, so we're going to cut throttle here. We are going to set our maneuver node. We are going to try to do this as quickly as possible here. We don't have to worry too much about all of it. We are going to turn to our maneuver node. I do want to check how much RCS we have left here. We should have plenty up on this upper stage. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Alright, so you have this crazy neutron star with these crazy, unfathomable things happening, creating essentially nuclear pasta, as it's commonly called. Wow, I'm getting some wobbles. Okay, RCS. Let's try to stop that. Okay. Beautiful. We're gonna stop that for the moment. Ain't nobody want wobbles going on. Okay. So you get different layers, a lot like an actual planet. You do have, in essence, an atmosphere, you do have a crust, and then you do have the core, right? Obviously, in this case, the atmosphere is absurd. It's unbelievably dense as it is. So after you get all this, the next stage in the life of this type of star is commonly going to be a collision with another neutron star. No, not commonly. They exist. And this can not only create a black hole, but it creates a majority of these super dense elements that we have in the universe, right? So things like gold, iridium, probably osmium if it's actually even a plausible option. I'm sure. It's a naturally occurring thing, so I'm sure you can get osmium from neutron stars. There's a lot of things that occur that you end up getting from neutron stars themselves. So in terms of different types of neutron stars, you'd be surprised at how many there are, being that it's a star, right? So when you go from a standard neutron star forming, there's a couple different options that can happen. So either you are going to get a pulsar or a magnetar, or both, right? A magnetar at the beginning of a neutron star's life. A magnetar, what it really is neutron star with a ridiculously large volume of energy. Of course, they all already have that to begin with. But what generally happens is the actual magnetic field will be, for lack of better words, quintillions of times more powerful than the Earth's. And the reason for that is, obviously, there's a lot of energy present. So once you get that happening, you get this kind of somewhat of an issue where if anything is too close to the path of a magnetar, the actual magnetic field can literally rip atomic structures apart. Let's say, for example, a magnetar flew past the Earth, between the moon and us. Not only would it absolutely, without question, destroy Earth. I mean, everything would be gone, easily. You would get this weird issue of the atomic structures, the atomic bonds, everything that we're made of, the Earth itself, the atoms would just get absolutely annihilated. We would atomize, quite literally. It's this crazy thing that happens with magnetars. It's such a strong magnetic field, it rips apart the actual bonds themselves. Okay, so that's a magnetar. And now magnetar versus pulsar, quite frankly, there's not really huge of a difference. A pulsar and what is the majority of neutron stars we have actually observed, because they're a lot easier to see. Pulsars, one of the byproducts of a neutron star is a high-intensity radio burst, and you'll commonly hear FRB. It's this acronym that stands for fast radio burst. Because pulsars are spinning so fast, we're talking, I think the fastest one we found was near 700 times per second. Imagine our sun spinning 700 times per second, full rotations, okay? You're looking at, 700 times, 60 seconds per minute, so, let me see, 7, 14, 21, 7, 14, 21, you're looking at, 4,200 rotations, 42,000 rotations per minute. That's absolutely mind-boggling how fast that is for an entire star. The size of a small city, mind you, spinning this absurdly fast, this hyperdense object, okay? So you go from that, and these radio waves, again, there's such high-intensity bursts that if anything within, 1,000 light years gets caught in this burst, it will just completely sterilize it. For example, if Earth got hit by it, our magnetic field would be wiped out, our atmosphere would be wiped out, everything on the surface of Earth, no matter where you were, would be instantaneously cooked. It would be a nightmare. The entire surface would be just, essentially, again, vaporized. There's so much energy coming out of this neutron star. Okay, so we are going to time skip here. we've been sitting around long enough. Hopefully I didn't waste too much electricity. Been thinking too much. Okay, so 59 seconds to burn. We are going to go back to the maneuver node here really quick. I want to check to see how much electrical charge we have. Let's turn off RCS for the moment. I don't want to waste any of this. Turn that back on. Maneuver node. Okay, we are going to do that. Perfect. Okay, awesome. We are ready to burn here very shortly. So headed to Minmus again this time. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. If you are liking this type of video, this is going to be a little bit of a new format I'm doing. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comment section below if you prefer this or, yeah, no, the other stuff I was doing before. Who even knows at this point? Look at that. Look at Kerb in here. Still got some more mods. It's crazy. So anyways, back to the topic at hand. We're going to be doing our maneuver here in 3 seconds. Once we start it, we're going to get back on subject here. So burn. 900 meters per second required. I did add some more fuel tanks just for the purpose of getting back. I do not want to run into any issues, although I should have more than enough Delta V, no problem. So yes, keep that on target. We do not want to we do not want to miss this maneuver. Oh, there we go. Okay, we are increasing our apoapsis. We are going to achieve escape velocity from Kerbin, and we are going to try to catch ourselves on Minmus. Ooh, okay. Ooh, another encounter. Who knows how long that was. Okay, here we go. Periaps. You know what? We could do that. We could work with that. Periaps. I like that. Gonna decrease that periaps quite a bit, though. Where are we at? We are 1 million. That's a bit far. Here we go. Get to a bit of a better orbit. Let's get around 500,000. We will be coming back here in the future. Do not worry your pretty little selves. I like that. Okay. Once again, maneuver node. We are going to warp here. Just make it a lot easier for ourselves. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. Well, very shortly, we can start doing science. I'm gonna set up that node here pretty shortly. Hold on. Beautiful. I love this. Oh, that's going a lot better than I was hoping for. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, maneuver node locked. Why is that the case? Turn off SAS. Okay, so let's try doing that again. Add maneuver. Can I add maneuver node? Control locked. Control locked. Why? Good question. I guess I can manually do it, although that seems kind of sad. SAS. Okay, might have to use some good old brains here. Turn off SAS for a second. Yeah. Okay, we are facing retrograde. Perfect. I'm gonna start doing some science. Hopefully we'll figure out why that's happening. Hopefully it's not some stupid reason that's on me. Well, high... Okay, cool. Material study while in space high over Minmus. The high radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it would be fun to paint the rocket with this. Wow, we love painting rockets out here, don't we? Beautiful. Okay, let's do this here. Log pressure data. The instrument reads 0, as if it were in a vacuum. Of course it does. Okay, log temperature. Ooh, 20 science. Measuring the temperature of space appears to be quite impossible, as there is no matter around to be either hot or cold, except the spacecraft and the thermometer itself. This is probably going to give the R&D guys something to think about for a while. Nice. I'm sure it will. Here we go. Ooh. The goo feels right at home here. What type of goo are they using? It seems like some weird alien byproduct. Who the crap knows? I don't know. Okay, so let's try to see if we can add a maneuver node, because quite frankly... node control locked. Why is control locked? Oh. Is it because Bob is not a... Maybe I should have had an antenna on this guy. That's okay. I will figure it out. Closed doors. That's quite alright. We will have to warp over there in the future. We have to figure this out real quick. Okay, well, we're gonna just start a burn here. I guess why not? So, we're gonna start burning in 3, 2, 1, full throttle. Decrease velocity. We will get into a capture burn. And we are going to watch this here just in case. Retrograde. Make sure we are going retrograde. Do not want to have escape velocity. Why? It's not the direction I want. Retrograde. Interesting. Prograde? Am I going crazy? I feel like I'm going crazy. What are you doing here? Weird. Okay, let's time warp a little bit. Definitely should have had an antenna on this. We'll figure it out. It's okay. So, as I was saying, when it comes to working with studying neutron stars, right? Magnetars and pulsars are, quite frankly, the best ways we've actually found. I still have to burn retrograde. I don't understand. That's weird. It's weird. Okay. Gotta make my decision and just try for it. Hopefully it works out. Oh boy. Okay. So, studying neutron stars, it's a bit of a difficult subject. The reason being is because we've only really observed recently pulsars and theorized magnetars and seen some of their effects. In a lot of ways, they function a lot like... weird. They function a lot like black holes do, because they are so hyperdense that light not only bends around them, but we can essentially see parts of the back of the neutron star from the front. So it's really difficult to directly observe a neutron star, because all of the information, all of the light we are receiving is so warped. It's hard for us to, quite frankly, comprehend just exactly what is happening. Now, with that being said, that doesn't change the fact that we have observed a lot about them. In the end, see, what is it doing? There we go. Okay, I'm just going crazy, guys. I really am. Jesus. Okay, so what type of orbit are we getting out of this? Is that a thing? Getting a good orbit? Am I doing science? Is that... there we go. Oh yeah, I like that. Beautiful. Yeah, we're just gonna do a full burn of that. We are gonna have some space debris. I'm sorry, guys. It's kind of on me. We are going to turn off RCS there. We are going to... oh, crap. Okay. Wow, more than enough. Oh, great. I am excited. Oh, yeah. Okay, apoapsis. That's alright, is what it is. Oh boy, here we go again. Gonna have to manually do this mission. I'm excited. Cool. So yeah, back to the subject. So when it comes to actually viewing these stars, it's a little bit of a difficult subject. we've observed a good amount. In fact, we've observed about 2,000 neutron stars in the Milky Way galaxy. They are obviously, because they're physically small objects, they're a little bit difficult to find depending on the situation, but pulsars are our easiest way to find them because a lot of times they will have this rhythmic flash to them, fast radio bursts. And we, for a while, were thinking, oh, maybe it's aliens, maybe it's a Dyson sphere, maybe, you know, it could be just that there's this weird, you know, who knows what, no one really knew at the time until we really started observing them a bit better. And I think I'm gonna still use Jeb in the future, because this makes things a lot more difficult. Although I have Mech Jeb, why is it Maneuver Planner? Is this not like a thing? Okay, Optimum Time, Crate Node. Okay, we'll learn about that in the future too. We'll figure that out, okay. In fact, let's fast forward a little bit. Cool. There we go. Well, let's take another look at Minmus. Wow, it's quite the, well, something, to say the least. In fact, we're gonna do our crew report here really quick. We're gonna turn off SAS. Stability Assist, RCS, keep it on for a second. Okay, perfect. So, let's do our crew report really quick. Some 12 science, I like that. EVA report. Ooh, EVA report. Ooh, more Ciencias. And what we are going to do, I'm gonna board one more time. We are going to collect all the data. Not that it really means anything at this point, but there we go. We are going to quite retrograde, and we will be ready for our next maneuver here in the future. There we go. Perfect. I love that. 0 G's. Imagine just floating around. Sounds awesome. Okay. So in the end, the moral story, quite frankly, about neutron stars, right? Kind of the whole point of this is they are realistically responsible for creating all of the heavy elements. That as far as we can understand, I can definitely imagine that if a black hole were to explode and turn into a white hole or something else along those lines, who knows what happens with that, that we would get definitely heavy elements out of a black hole explosion. So, in the end, my point about neutron stars, they are a great source, quite frankly, of information for us. You know, there's a lot of good reason for it. Here, let me see if I can manually do some of this here. Okay. Beautiful. You know, there's a lot of theories about what they are, how they are, what they do, why they do it. In the end, if in fact they do create a majority of the heavy elements that we observe in the universe. Keep in mind, there's a lot of those heavy elements that exist on Earth itself. That just means that at some point in time, Earth was created by the collision of 2 neutron stars. And when that happens, as you can imagine, a significantly larger explosion occurs than a standard supernova. I mean, we're talking about magnitudes larger. So much larger that, quite frankly, saying larger is a bit of an understatement, to be perfectly honest with you. So in the end, when a neutron star dies, or more specifically, a star turns into a neutron star, you already have the death of the star to begin with, right? And then, once it happens again, all of a sudden you have this full second, essentially, death of a star that creates all these elements. In fact, the entire universe is essentially made up of these. Now, when 2 neutron stars collide, they not only explode out all these massive elements, it creates this ridiculously large explosion. I forgot what it's called. What is it called? Hold on. Kilonova, there we go. You have this kilonova, which I'm sure, as you can imagine, is a significantly larger explosion, right? So, you have this kilonova, which in a lot of ways is almost like what you can imagine the Big Bang to be. You have this absurdly large explosion that puts out all these heavy elements. You know, what became this ridiculous neutron strange matter, as they think might be what's inside of a neutron star. And they explode outward with, I mean, kilonova. It is what it is. It's this crazy thing. So once that happens, you get this crazy explosion, and at the center of that is another form of a black hole. So not only does this massive explosion happen, but it creates, in a second way, other than just the regular collapse of a super large star, you get this, once again, collapse of 2 super large stars, creating a black hole. So, new elements that get blasted out, creating who knows what, a whole galaxy possibly, or at least, bare minimum, several solar systems, and you get a new black hole. And the closest black hole we've currently viewed, just for the record, is about 1,000 light years away from here. Not that we're ever going to get there. Who knows? We might, maybe in the future. Probably not, but it's always a possibility. and then you have these crazy kilonova explosions that will in and of themselves just destroy just about everything you can even comprehend. And 0 energy. We're gonna have to do a little bit of a burn here, if I even can. Let's see. SAS, retrograde, still got SAS ability. We are still going pretty fast. Do a little bit of a burn. Perfect. Perfect. Well, we might actually have a successful mission here, guys. And if I had an antenna, I may even be able to land with that specialized orbiter, too. Because I have plenty of Delta V to get back, that is for sure. Okay, look at Bob Stahl, happy down there. EVA currently unavailable. Let's get moving here. I don't want to go too fast. I do have signal back, so I can warp once again. Warp here. We are going to do a full-on burn. Retrograde, beautiful. We're going to try to use as much of this fuel as we can, slow down as much as we can. We do not want to explode on re-entry. That would be a real shame. And unfortunately, I am re-entering on the dark side of Earth, and that is a beautiful view. Look at Kerbin. Not Earth. Look at Kerbin over there. That beauty. See, this is why I love space. Where do you get better views than this? You know? I love it. But yeah, it's quite the world we're living in, to say the least. We're essentially glued to a rock by gravity. It's essentially all it is. Cut thrust. We are going to save our RCS. We're going to save our SAS. Let's hit normal. We are going to stage in 3, 2, 1. Probably could have used some of that monopropellant, actually. That is quite alright. We are going to set retrograde one more time. Going to turn off SAS for now. We are going to let this lovely Kerbal ride out. Oof. Okay. Still going kind of fast, to say the least, actually. A little bit dangerous. Okay, how much battery power? Are these rechargeable? Oh, they are. I like it. Okay, we have plenty of SAS and RCS to go around. We don't have to worry about so much. Retrograde. Off RCS for the moment, don't waste that. So yeah. Anyways, guys, we are coming up on the end of this surprisingly successful mission, despite being a bit absent-minded, as you can imagine. Talking about Neutron Stars. It takes a lot of capacity to do both these at once. Gotta tell ya. Quite the challenge, actually. Okay, we're coming up on upper atmosphere pretty shortly here. We are going to keep SAS on, set to retrograde. We do not want to lose any portion of this system. If we do, we do not land. And I do want to hold on to this science, unlike last time. Oh boy. Here we go. So yeah, that is the general synopsis of Neutron Stars. They are, quite frankly, very impressive structures. They are something that baffles scientists. It's an incredible task to we are heating up. Okay, please slow down, please slow down. I do not want anything to explode here. Oh, we have successful re-entry. We are going to... Oh, beautiful. Drogue chutes coming up. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, wow, wow. What a successful landing. Where am I landing? Where is this? I can't see a thing. Oh my gosh. Wow, my bad. My B, Big G. You know what they say about that? Big G, Big V. 2 big letters. Yeah, I hope it's the ocean. Sure looks flat. Wow, that's a beautiful sight, though. Yeah, I like it. So, did you guys like like our talk about Neutron Stars? I thought it was interesting. Let me know if you like the video if you learned anything new. You know, I don't necessarily think most people know about all these odd types of celestial bodies, right? Or even that there's even different types of stars. You know, it's a hobby of mine to learn about all these things. I absolutely love learning about the new scientific achievements that we've finally made. You know, after all this time living on Earth, humans are finally understanding to a better degree. Oh, we're coming up on the water here for splashdown. To a better degree of why we're here. I should rephrase that. We have no idea why we're here. But we're understanding to a better degree some of the reasons why we are here. Would be a better description of it. So, anyways, guys, we are finally splashdown, and I'm very excited that it finally worked out. A good splashdown. We're going to recover vessel. That was a surprise. Do re-entry and adjusting our burn that way. I'm glad I genuinely understand how that works. Oof, terrible. Ooh, nice. 233 science. I like science. Research and development. Okay, so what is going to help us here the most? What should I get? Ooh, Skipper. Poodle. These all look terrible. Larger solid fuel rocket boosters. Okay. Fuel management. Ooh, this looks helpful. Aerodynamic, supersonic. Ooh, I like the look at these. I like that. Okay. Oh gosh, there's so much stuff. Okay, yeah, we are going to have to... Billion enhancer, so 90, 918. Okay, so we can get 2. Okay, so I'm gonna get this, and I am going to get the better... Ew, these are terrible. And we're gonna get this. Okay. Left with 53 science. Congratulations, guys! We've had a successful mission. I love it. And we learned a little bit of something about Neutron Stars. But yeah, leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other videos on the channel. If you did like this format of video, expect more of it in the future. I think it's going to be an exciting future for the channel. Learning about different topics. Whatever you guys actually think you might want to learn about, don't forget to also leave in the comments. I'm going to read every comment, okay? I'm going to try to respond, let everyone know, share it out. Have a good time, guys. See you guys later. Bye.